Hello, everybody. My name is Eric Osterman, and I'm a recruiter here at Caterpillar in beautiful Peoria, Illinois. And today we are joined by some students from Iowa State who are going to be the next great young professionals to take the workforce by storm. But I am not alone. I am joined by some colleagues and friends here. Let them introduce themselves. We will start off, ladies first, with my boss, Rachel Ackerman. Rachel, would you be kind enough to give us your bio?
Sure. Thanks, Eric. So I'm Rachel Ackerman, and I've been with Caterpillar almost 17 years. My current role is with the Marketing and Digital Division, and I am the Recruitment Manager for our Marketing and Analytics specialties.
Perfect. All right, Mr. Del Vecchio.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I had the pleasure to meet many of you, a couple weeks ago. My name is Chris Del Vecchio. I've been with Caterpillar for roughly 20 years. I'm the Global SPG Manager, Strategic Planning Manager, and I have the responsibility of the LTDP program, Leadership Technical Development Program, which includes supply chain.
Terrific. All right, Ben Wilmington. You ready, my man?
Yeah, Cam.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Ben's on deck next. All right.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Cam Wilmington. I'm a marketing rep in the Global Marketing Talent Division. I've been with Caterpillar about 9 months. I started back in August, and before that I was at Illinois Wesleyan University, so I was sitting in your seats only a few short months ago. So happy to be talking with you guys today.
All right, and last but not least, Ben.
You stole my opening line. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ben Grunow. I've been with Caterpillar a little over 4 years now. Actually, a graduate of the LTDP program that Chris was talking about there. Currently, I'm in global.
Yep. Ben, you still with us? I think we temporarily lost Ben. All right, well, when Ben comes back, we'll finish up with him. But in the meantime, Rachel, we're going to share some slides here, if you'd be kind enough to walk us through and let me know.
Okay, great.
When it is up.
If you can go ahead and bring up the first slide, it's an infographic that gives an overview of Caterpillar and our business and some of the industries that we're in. So as Eric's working on that, I know you guys have spent some time with the company already, but we do have more than 3 million products that are working around the world. So since World War II, our products have been at work. Our products are even at work on the moon. You probably didn't know that. So we've been on projects that have been expanding the Panama Canal, and construction on landmark things like the Hoover Dam and the Golden Gate Bridge are just a few examples of where some of our products have been in work around the world. We are a global company. More than 59% of our sales and revenues are outside the United States. And what really makes Caterpillar unique is our distribution network, our dealers. So we have 177 dealers that are operating in 182 countries around the globe. So that is one of the key differentiators of our business, is that our customers know that they've got on-site local business partners that are our dealer network that helps them be successful in their business using our products and services. As well, our employment, we have more than 105,000 employees globally around the world, and also some other unique things as far as the Caterpillar Foundation. Huge influence that we have on our communities where we live and work, and doing things like bringing communities clean water, renewable sources of energy, clean energy. So pretty exciting as far as when you look at Caterpillar, the industries that we're in, from construction, mining, diesel and natural gas engines, industrial gas turbines, and also diesel electric locomotives. So really broad breadth of products, and we're excited that we have more than 11,000 engineers and technologists with over 8,000 active patents worldwide. So definitely a high-tech company, innovative, and bringing, I say we like to make progress possible. So that's my tagline. All right, So a little bit, that's an overview of the company. Eric, if you want to go to the next slide.
Sure.
So you guys had submitted some questions in advance about internships. And so that is one of the key things as far as that we seek to engage with students like yourself, sharing opportunities. So interns, we have organized activities, community of bringing students together. We do a lot of, beyond the meaningful work experience you're going to get, there's a lot of social aspects to that as well. We also do facility tours, so not only the assignment that you're on, you're learning about that business, but you're getting to see firsthand where our products are made, manufactured, and learning more as far as networking about career opportunities at the company. So we list as far as the eligibility requirements for those programs, and I'm going to actually turn it over to Chris and have Chris talk about some of the internship opportunities that his team oversees.
Thanks, Rachel. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Great. And so we have a variety of different internship opportunities at Caterpillar in the order to delivery space. In a moment, I'll have Ben maybe go into a little bit more detail on the supply chain front, but it could be in supply chain, manufacturing engineer, operations, procurement, or EH&S, just to kind of give you an idea of the different functional areas we've got internships in. All our internships are real live jobs, so you're actually working alongside a manufacturing engineer or supply chain professional doing real work on a real project, and typically involves a team of some sort that's trying to resolve a problem. Many times it's going to be out in the shop environment where you're working alongside a production employee or supplier trying to resolve an issue that we're struggling with. Ben, maybe if I could pass it over to you and you get into a little more detail on the supply chain front.
Yeah, of course. You guys hear me okay? Yep. Okay, sorry, I think I lost you guys earlier there. Yeah, to, I guess, expand a little on what Chris was talking about there. So really, I think one of the cool things about the supply chain internship and even the rotational program is, we don't explicitly define, I guess, exactly what you'll be doing up front. And what that really allows us to do is ensure that you're doing real-world work and will have an impact for Caterpillar. So I know an example is we put on projects involving saving millions of dollars for the company. Actually, right now we're going through a lot to revamp our supply chain. So I know a lot of our interns are getting put on projects like that. I know examples where an intern has covered for an individual going on maternity leave. So she was, really, to Chris's point, thrown right into real life, real world problems and situations. And in that situation, dealing with the supply base, I think she had about 70 suppliers she was managing on a daily basis, and really everything from inventory management to quality issues to shipping performance. So again, it kind of, I guess, expands the whole gamut of supply chain, but the opportunities are definitely there to make a huge impact.
All right, terrific. Rachel, do you want to tell us a little bit about what's going on the marketing end?
Yeah, sure. So within marketing, as far as our internship opportunities span the gamut as far as working within our industry teams, where you're actually going to be partnering with customers and dealers, doing industry type studies, looking at our equipment, productivity. Cam, did you do an internship with us, or did you come into the development program?
I did do an internship. I was in the oil and gas division in the summer of 2014 out in,
Okay.
Yep, out there.
Yeah, so I think firsthand, you want to share as far as a little bit about what you did in Houston?
Well, I was actually over in Mossville. I didn't get to make the trip to Houston, but stayed closer to home for that one. It was good, though. I worked with Houston a lot. It also got me some exposure working with the MAK side, our larger engines over in Germany. So being up early for those meetings, it was good exposure. And the main thing with my internship that I gathered was just the corporate culture that Caterpillar had, and I really enjoyed working with my team, and they gave me projects that challenged me, and that they expected a lot from me, and that kind of carried forward into the job I have now.
Great, thanks. So our internships, again, Cam, he was partnering with our oil and gas group, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have internships where we've got teams that are working actually with our TV production studio, doing event planning. It really is a broad range of internships. And so specifically for marketing, we do offer ours 3 times a year. So we do 3 sessions that is both spring, then summer, or fall. So we have opportunities throughout the year, and definitely interested. We recruit from a broad variety of majors. We do engineering majors as well as business majors, finance. So it's a pretty broad spectrum, but specifically looking for students that want real-world experience, hands-on, partnering with our business customers to help them find new solutions and ways to apply our products and technology to help their business be more profitable. So Eric, do you want to speak at all to, I know, the analytics side as far as the internship opportunities on our analytics?
Well, sure. I know right now we have analytics opportunities for internships in the summer, as well as some practicum opportunities here year-round. So unfortunately, our slots are filled right now, but year-long we're hiring for the full-time position for the analytics development program as well.
Okay, so speaking of the development program, I know, Eric, I had a slide that talked about the variety of development programs at Caterpillar, so maybe we can pop that up.
Let me see what I can do here.
Okay, if not, I can talk to that. But that is one thing as far as Caterpillar being such a large company with so many opportunities, is that what really sets us apart as far as that we offer programs for recently graduating students. And you can see Eric's got that up on there. And so I specifically, am seeing oversight for our technical marketing and our analytics professionals. But across that, you also see our leadership and technical development program, engineering rotational program as well, finance, HR, information technology, and even a program designed focused with the UK graduates. So that is one thing that we really encourage as far as students that are graduating have an opportunity to come into the company. These programs can range anywhere from perhaps 18 months up to 3 years, and it gives you a broad exposure to the company, to that discipline, and it really is setting up leadership development opportunities. So Chris, I don't know if you want to talk at all to your rotational programs.
Sure, I can do that. So I own the Leadership Technical Development Program, the LTDP program. It's a 3-year rotational development program. As Rachel indicated, it is focused on leadership development. That's the prime focus of the program. It's ultimately designed to create future leaders within the company. We have 5 tracks. We've got supply chain, manufacturing engineer, operations, procurement, and EH&S. And each track is designed to develop a specific functional area within the order-to-delivery space. And when we talk about order-to-delivery, we're primarily talking about the operational side, the manufacturing side of the company. We've got about 100 people in our program today. We bring in typically around a class size of 15 to 25 in June timeframe, and then about 15 to 25 that would start on the calendar year in January. And they would rotate every year for 3 years. We're looking for people that are mobile, that are willing to reside anywhere in the U.S. We've got facilities as far west as California, as far south as Texas, as far east as the Carolinas, and as far north as Wisconsin and Michigan, and all in between. We're in about 30 so locations across the U.S. and about 15 different business units across the company.
Perfect. Thanks for sharing, Chris. Hey, Ben, would you mind sharing with us a little bit about some of the interesting projects you've got to work on during your time?
Yeah, sure. I can try to tack on to what Chris was talking about there too with the rotational program, because that was my first 3 years in the company. But really, my first year I was in Joliet, Illinois, so up there by Chicago, and I got a good opportunity to work with about I want to say 70 to 80 suppliers, and quite a few were international as well. So not only was I beginning to learn about Caterpillar, I was beginning to learn, how we do business across multiple countries. And actually, a cool part of my experience down there was I got to spend about 4 to 5 months actually on the shop floor in Joliet, learning how to make the product, and really what our operators go through on a daily basis. So that was a great learning experience for me. My second year was actually in Joliet as well, but in a different position, and I was really tasked with managing inventory across the whole facility. So I got a great opportunity to not only build upon current strategies, but actually define strategies that were replicated across Caterpillar and recognized as best practices for other facilities to take on. And then my third rotation was down in Decatur. It's where we make our large mining trucks. So big things. I mean, the tires are almost twice as big as I am, and those are just the tires. So you can imagine how big the actual machine is itself. And that was my cross-functional rotation. So my first two rotations were mostly focused just on supply chain, and this one was more operational. So I got to deal with redesigning material flows through the entire facility in Decatur. I got to work on how do we present material to the operators. I got to design some what we call kits, so stuff that we bring in-house and then package up nice and neatly for the operators. Great exposure. I'll say that the position I got outside of the LCDP program probably wasn't a typical position someone with just 3 years in the company would receive, but some of the exposure I gained through the program and was given the ability, I guess, to prove myself. I was given a pretty great opportunity just being with the company for 3 years.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Ben. Rachel and Cam, do you guys mind sharing with us a little bit about the marketing training program here?
Yeah, I'll give you like a high-level overview, and then Cam, I'm going to let you give the details because you've like walked the path.
Sounds
so
good.
For the technical marketing development program, we typically have we're preparing employees for their field assignments, and there's 3 primary areas that we're looking at. We've got our industry sales team, which is commercial technicians that are going to be consulting with dealers and customers on how to actually use the product, use it smarter, and applications that they're at. And then industry service are folks who are actually going to be providing technical support on our products. And then dealer operations, and that could be our rental departments, it could be service, it could be parts, the sales of product. And so those are the 3 areas that we're preparing our field reps for. So I think Chris talked about, willingness to travel. These are exciting assignments that you are going to be able to travel. You're going to be assigned to different districts, territories, but I'm going to let Cam tell you about that because he is living the dream.
I am. My experience with Caterpillar started with a 3-month marketing training class, and that basically was a crash course in everything Caterpillar. So we took a look. We went to Houston for a week to visit our oil and gas division. We took a week in Raleigh, North Carolina to visit our building construction products division. We were spoken to by VPs, high-level managers, all that stuff, just to kind of encapsulate us in everything that Caterpillar offers. So after I did that, I'm now in my first rotational assignment, and that is in the medium tractor group, which is our medium dozers, and I'll be here until the end of July, and then I'll move on to something else. I'm thinking global revenue management, and then after about 2 more rotational assignments, I'll hopefully get my field assignment and enter the field as an industry sales rep.
Perfect. Cam, thanks for sharing. Kind of starting off our Q&A sessions here. Going to open it up to the students here in just a sec, but I'll toss one out there to kick it off. As far as Cam and Ben, this question is for you guys. Based off of your friends who were in a similar major, had similar experiences, what's been different for you taking the Caterpillar route as opposed to some of your friends who took other competitive offers?
I can take that one. I'll give it a first shot, Ben. One thing that I love about my job is that I come in every day, and every day is different. It's so dynamic. All the projects I'm given, all the trips I go on, there hasn't been a day that I've walked in and done the same thing 2 days in a row. So looking around at a lot of my friends who are marketing majors and that I went to school with, they come in, they have to be in at this time, and they have to be out at this time. And the flexibility that this job gives me, and the excitement that comes along with it is a real asset to this job.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I mean, I can add to that. I'll try to keep it short because I know you gave us a time limit here, so just stop me if I'm going too far. But I'd say a key difference between me and a lot of my friends that graduated were, you know.
That's a pretty good cliffhanger there. All right, cool. So, all right, we're going to open it up to the students now. So if you guys want to ask any questions to us, I'm going to unmute you guys. Or I think you unmuted yourselves there. And feel free to ask any questions.
Good. This one's for Cam, actually. So what was the biggest difference between, you say, like your schoolwork and starting your first job?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'd have to say that just the freedom I'm given in my job. When I first got here, they kind of, you get all your projects on kind of day one, and it feels like you're just trying to keep your head above water. But once you separate yourself and you realize you have 8 hours in a day to get all of this done, it becomes much more manageable. Whereas you're getting projects in college and all that stuff, and they're always kind of hanging over your head. When you're at work, you can delegate and you can really balance your time easier than I've found myself able to do in college. Hopefully that answers your question.
Thanks.
Perfect. Who's next?
I have a question. This one's for Chris. So it's about the Leadership Technical Development Program. Like, what sort of qualities or skills do you look for like for someone who's going to start that program, or look for like a candidate for that program?
Okay, great question. So it depends on the track, but I would say the majority of our folks that are in the program, we have a significant portion that are in the Ops Leadership track. And so the Ops Leadership track is designed so that when somebody graduates that track, they're going into a operations supervisor, maybe a manufacturing engineer type of position, but they're going into an operations environment. So 80% of the people in the program reside in that track. One of the key requirements for that is that they will ultimately be leading a team of production employees in an assembly area or weld area or fabrication area or machining area, excuse me. So we're looking for somebody that has strong leadership capabilities combined with somebody that has a technical degree. And sometimes those are two difficult things to find. Sometimes we find somebody that's very technical but may not have the leadership capabilities. Or sometimes we find somebody that has strong leadership capabilities but doesn't have enough of the technical side. So we're really looking at a blend of the two is the ideal candidate that has both technical and leadership capabilities. That's for our leadership. And when I say technical degree, we're typically looking for somebody that's an engineer, whether it be mechanical or industrial. But on the supply chain side, we would not necessarily be looking for, we'd be looking for somebody that has a supply chain degree, for example. Ideally, though, they would have some technical aspect even with that supply chain degree. For example, we know that there's some programs where somebody can have an undergrad in industrial engineer as well as the supply chain degree. And ultimately, as we work with our partners, they're really looking for that blend of technical with the supply chain degree. But that's not necessarily the case in every situation. Hopefully that answers your questions or question.
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Before the next question, just want to give a shout out to the gentleman in the brown fleece. Love your water bottle.
It was outstanding.
All right. Any other questions for our panel here?
Yeah, so as far as that rotational program goes, how much say do the candidates have and where they're located?
Now, this will probably be different for both marketing and order to delivery. So, Rachel, do you want to start us off first here?
Yeah, sure. So as far as the opportunities that come up, we have a leadership team as far as your supervisors for the program. So Cam's probably listening and like, yeah, tell me about that, Rachel. So we try as much as possible to work with employees as far as understanding situations, whether it be spouses, kids, things like that. We'll try to work as far as what we can do jointly. But typically there's going to be some set opportunities, and as much as possible, we'll do what we can. But I will say for those first 3 to 5 years, we are looking for people who are pretty flexible as far as to say, yep, I'm open as far as to the opportunities. Typically, they're going to be across North America. And so the first 3 to 5 years, I would say the ideal candidates who are going to be successful in our program have flexibility as far as in those locations. But we do take into consideration what the employees' desires are as well. Chris, how about you?
Yeah, for us, there's a couple of things that go into play when it comes to the rotations. So we do a survey, typically on the second to third year in the program, not so much on the first year because just the timing. If we can do it that first year, we try to. We take into consideration where somebody's preferences geographically would be, as well as if we can from a functional standpoint. So if they're in the ops leadership, for example, what is the requirement for graduation? So that plays a pretty critical piece of where their next rotation would be, meaning before they graduate, they have to have that section manager rotation, or they have to have a manufacturing engineer rotation. And so not only is it a geographically, but it's also functionally driven. But all that being said, we do survey the LTDP and ask them from a preference standpoint, what are their top 5 preferences on where they want to be geographically or functionally. And we take that into consideration as we look at placing them. So there is input.
Ben, we're going to toss this to you real quick here. Did you feel that you had some flexibility as far as when you chose your assignments? Where were your different assignments located at?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say to Chris's point, definitely, you know, we were surveyed and asked where we want to go, not only from a location preference, but just a job function preference. So I'd say it differs for every candidate. You know, some people are more focused on, hey, what do I need to better myself as, you know, not only an employee but as a person, right? Because every job position and location is going to have different learning possibilities for you, not only at work but just culturally with people in the area. But yeah, I'd say I had pretty good flexibility. Actually, my third rotation, I was given kind of one that wasn't typically done for supply chain rotational people because of I was given that because of some network I'd built. So I'd say the flexibility is definitely there for you to use, the, you know, as you can.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. What's the other question we have?
Yeah, so Caterpillar's a global company, and we saw that with our work with you guys. So what's kind of the track that you have for someone to maybe get a job not here in North America? I know we've been focusing a lot about North America, but what is the timeline and scope, et cetera, for looking at some of the other locations Caterpillar has in the world?
We're going to flip a coin. Chris, do you want to take it or do you want me to?
Yeah, I can take that.
Okay.
At least from an order to delivery standpoint. So from an LTDP program standpoint, we are North America, U.S. based, but we do have a sister program in China, as well as a sister program in India that we work with on a regular basis and compare programs and have a lot of discussions with, as well as partner employees up so that they can buddy with somebody in a different country in the same type of program, same type of track. Unfortunately, from a cost standpoint, the program is limited to just a U.S.-based or in-country based program at this point. We have looked at piloting a program in Mexico, but it would be an in-country program as well. I would say most of our or a good portion of our rotations and positions do involve some international partnership with employees or suppliers from other countries. So you have that interaction that takes place there. But from a actual international assignment, that would happen after somebody graduates the program.
Gotcha.
Hard to say, depending on where somebody is going from a career path standpoint, how soon that opportunity would present itself. A good portion of that is your willingness and your readiness and your performance level. And some of it is also what business unit and what function that you are working on or working towards. But that's not to say that somebody could have a opportunity to go overseas to work with a supplier or get to work on a project. You know, maybe it's not an actual ISE assignment, but it may be a short-term project assignment that they're working in Germany or UK or China or something like that. So that happens quite frequently as well.
Okay. And Chris, I would probably say this echoes similar for marketing. We have a sister program for Asia Pacific, but I've got the partnership and oversight for our North America placement. But again, employees will have opportunity throughout their careers for opportunities for international assignments, as well as travel while you're in your current assignments. Like right now, we've got the world's largest construction trade show is in Germany, bauma 16. And so a lot of our marketing reps are over in Germany right now supporting that trade show. So there are lots of travel opportunities with field rep for our marketing field reps.
I think, too, to that point, one thing that Caterpillar does extremely well is even before you would go on an international assignment or you'd take international trips is you get a chance to meet a lot of your international coworkers. One of the things we're doing is we're migrating to Office 365 here soon, and one of the main core principles behind that is making sure that it's much easier for us to collaborate on a global level. I just had a meeting with somebody in Brazil yesterday morning, and so it's nice to be able to get a chance to learn about different cultures and different people, really, regardless of what position you're in. So that's one thing that I think is great about the company as a whole.
Yeah, I'd say the opportunity is definitely there. Just to chime in a little bit, I got the opportunity to go to China and Thailand for 2 weeks, looking to go down to Mexico and Europe later in the year, and then even through the rotational program, like I said, I had numerous international colleagues and coworkers and suppliers. I knew quite a few people that got to travel on those jobs. So I'd say even though you're not going to be based internationally, there's definitely ample opportunity if you want it to pursue it and definitely take advantage of.
Thank you.
And Cam, you just got that passport stamped, right?
Yeah, just got it.
All right. Perfect. Cool. All right. Any other questions?
So one quick question from the class instructor here. You guys have mentioned projects a number of times, so this question is probably more for Cam and Ben. Could you describe for the students how much of your day is spent on projects as compared to sort of ongoing duties, and how much of your day is spent working with teams or working on stuff that is involving a team?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I hate to answer it this way, but I'm going to say it depends on your role. Right now, for instance, I'd say probably almost 100% project-based, but I wouldn't say it's a bad thing because the project I'm on is actually a company-wide project that is really revamping our total supply chain that every group is going into. I'd say right now I'm mostly project-based through the program. I'd say I had a very healthy mix of normal, quote-unquote, normal activities, task work, if you want to call it, that came with a job, but also being in the leadership program. They want to challenge you, and you're seen as the best of the best, so you're put on projects that others aren't. From a team standpoint, I haven't had a job yet where there hasn't been a day that I haven't worked with somebody cross-functionally. So I think, to me, that's the nature of Caterpillar being such a big company that spans across the world, and it's very collaborative, and everything I do involves at least one other person from another discipline. But I'd say very heavily teamwork and collaboration, And again, I think the mix of project and daily task work probably depending on the role.
Yeah, I'd second what Ben said. Most of my day is spent working on projects that are revolved around a team. So in my rotation right now, we have go-to-market strategies that we're constantly working on. We have dealer engagement strategies that we're working on as well. And just the size and scope of Caterpillar, you really don't get anything done without constant communication. So I'm working with people every single day.
All
Thanks,
right.
Cam.
Any other questions? I think we may have a slight disconnection with the feed over at Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a minute here. It's kind of a different experience when you lose your audience, isn't it?
A little bit.
I think I cut out a couple of times too. I'm not really sure what all you guys heard me say.
Oh, you've done great with working with the in and out. Chris, we do have something, well, we have a second, and we're still broadcasting live, but you have two screens open, I think. Can you check and see if you have two Google Hangouts going at the same time?
That's maybe why there's an echo.
Because there's a Chris that's dark.
Oh, he just dropped off.
You just dropped the live one.
Oops.
Well, one's controlling his sound and one's controlling his video.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes, we can
Can't
hear
see
you, but
you.
we can't see you. Well,
We totally
I can
lost
see
the class.
you, but I can't. But you can't see me.
We totally lost him.
it's all right.
Eric, you're going to edit out this whole section.
Yeah, I mean,
This is part of the entertainment
roll
of
it.
the experience.
yeah, this is half the fun.
Oh,
I did really like it how he has it set up though, where we're looking right at the class. I think that's really neat.
that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Well, Eric, do you want to we'll give a 2-second pause, and then you can do a closing, and we'll just edit out the last 3 minutes.
That sounds perfect. And one sec, we'll give them just one more minute to see if they can hop back on here.
I'm pretty sure that double entry that I had was causing the microphone to be a little freaky there.
That's good. And Chris,
So
are
they
you through Chrome right now?
I am through Chrome right now,
Okay.
and I thought I was visually and sound was through it, but obviously one was doing one and the other was doing the other. So
We're gonna duct tape this thing together. Don't worry about it.
all the things not to do on Hangout.
You know. Yeah.
This will be a good tutorial for future.
Step one: if you can't keep the audience engaged. Oh, here they are.
They're on mute, though.
I think
Oh,
we're
there we-
muted.
well, hopefully we'll be back.
We should just have a guinea pig run across the screen. Be like, this is the guinea pig.
What I don't understand is I can see you, but you can't see me. So why is that?
Chris, is this part of your aura of mystery?
The wizard behind the curtain.
Yes.
I wonder if
And-
Frank can hear us.
I don't know. If they get everything back up and running, it's 4:52 right now, and the class goes till 5. Probably have one more question, and then we can. All right.
We hear them.
Are you guys there? All right. We missed you guys. This was pretty awkward without you.
So my laptop just suffered a blue screen of death.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I just got done praising Microsoft for Office 365. My apologies.
Well, it does open up the opportunity. I can talk to the foundation, maybe a small donation to our technology fund.
We're on it.
Don't do it.
Perfect.
So right now, I've switched computers. You're on the room computer now and not on my laptop.
Okay.
For whatever reason, the camera is not working, but apparently the microphone is. So sorry about that.
Hey, that's totally fine. Now, we know we're planning on wrapping this thing up here in just a couple minutes, so we thought we would do one more question and then kind of close it out here.
So any more questions from you guys?
Yeah, can somebody talk about your finance program? If you have internships that are geared towards like corporate finance, or if it's Caterpillar Finance, Cat Finance, I know the offices in Tennessee. Anything you guys know about that? Things you guys look for? Candidates you certainly pick them. What can I do to put myself in the spot to get a job with Caterpillar next year? Yes.
Sure, yeah, I can take that one. Cat Financial, based out of Nashville, is an excellent option, as well as Caterpillar itself has a number of full-time and internship opportunities, both in accounting and in finance. Probably the best thing to do would be to email me a copy of your resume. I'm going to share my email with you guys here in just a sec. And just email me and let me know what you're interested, and I can make the connections for you.
Well, and to that point, Rachel, did you get access to all the resumes?
Yes, I did get the box folder that
Okay.
you had posted,
Okay.
and so I can share that with the team.
Is there other people that I need to add to that folder?
Eric Osterman.
Okay. Eric. Okay, I can get that done today, Eric. So you'll have access to a folder that's got the resumes of all the students that are interested in learning more about CAT.
Hey, appreciate it. Thanks so much. All right, well, everyone, really do appreciate your time. Frank has my email, so please do email me with any feedback that you have about this session, what was helpful, what we could improve, because we'd really like to use tools like this moving forward as a way to engage with classrooms a lot more, and we won't know unless we try what works, what doesn't work. And so any feedback you have, as well as any career interest, Frank, feel free to release my email to the students, and I look forward to connecting with you guys soon.
Sounds good. I'll get the email to them just immediately after class here.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic day.
Thanks. Have a good night.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.